new off-the-plan laws. Again, Fair Trading sent it out in their Property Matters newsletter in this last week. So there's lots of information out there about it. If you are selling off-the-plan properties, you need to know about this. This new law started on the 1st of December. It's now the 12th of December. So, guys, you've got to be onto this. And it's changes under the Conveyancing Act and the Sale of Land Regulations, or the Conveyancing Sale of Land Regulations. So you've got to know this if you're selling off the plan. What it's about and the purpose of it was to bring greater transparency and certainty for purchasers. So, because there's a lot of people are nervous about buying off the plan, and yet we understand that. But this is, if you're selling off the plan, obviously you're talking. I mean, there's currently in the news we're hearing about developers who are now have lost a lot of money and closed down, and a lot of the purchasers have lost all of their deposits. So, and because they released the deposits, so there's a whole range of things here now that the Registrar General is looking at in terms of the review done by them on the off-the-plan sales. So the key changes here are the vendors, so the developers, must give buyers key information about the development, including copies of the proposed plan, proposed bylaws, and a schedule of finishes before the contracts are signed. So when a purchaser is actually signing this, they have all of that information. The vendors must notify the purchasers of material changes of what was disclosed. So if anything changes with anything, they must be told about that. Purchasers are allowed to end the contract or even claim compensation in some cases if they are materially impacted by the changes made from what was disclosed, or even more so from what was not disclosed. Vendors must provide a copy of the final plan at least 21 days before the buyer can be compelled to settle. So, that's looking at the size, looking at the finishes, looking at everything about where the garaging is, where the storerooms are. And so the purchaser obviously then has the opportunity to check against what it is that they initially agreed to purchase. So the existing legislation that we have has been widened to clarify that the Supreme Court can award damages where the vendor terminates under a sunset clause. It's an interesting one. And the cooling off period was extended to 10 business days, with any deposit to be held in trust or a controlled account until settlement. So they're interesting changes, and obviously that's to address a lot of the problems that have occurred with off-the-plan sales in the past years. So guys, if you are selling off-the-plan properties, talk to your developers, talk to your solicitors that are giving you the information and giving you the contracts for these properties. So make sure that you are covered, that you have the information, that you can impart that to the purchasers that are coming through looking at these off-the-plan properties. So just really any legislation, make sure you're covering it if it relates to you.